Duets with your friend baritone Thomas Hampson. That must have been a lot of fun working on for both of you.
Well, it's to say that it's fun only begins to scratch the surface of what our relationship has been about. Tom and I have known each other since 1982. We first worked together at the Opera Theater of St. Louis in a production of Così fan tutte that was directed by Jonathan Miller and conducted by the late Calvin Simmons, who
Really?
is the
Yes.
local boy
Yes.
here, and it turned out to be Calvin's last opera before
right?
his tragic death. It was an experience that summer was a real kind of a watershed experience artistically for many of us who were involved in that. And Tom and I particularly bonded before male bonding was trendy. Then we didn't see each other for several years. I think the next time we worked together was, might have been 1986 or so, when we did La Boheme with Leonard Bernstein. And from that point forward, our paths have continued to cross. Our friendship has grown. Our relationship as colleagues has grown. The genesis for that Duets album, and I dare say for a collaboration which continues in many other venues today, was an appearance on the Boston Pops a few years ago. Must have been 1992, I think. We did an evening of operatic duets and some operetta duets, a little Broadway. And it was incredibly well received by the public. The rebroadcasts of that seemed, at least to us at the time, endless over the next 18 months or so. So our plans were already in place at that time to do an album of baritone tenor duets. Since the release of that album, we've literally been inundated with requests to go out and do personal appearances together and to do a program very much like what we did for the Boston Pops, very much like the two programs we did here in San Francisco area last summer.
Year, right.
Of course, there was the concert we did in conjunction also with Sam Raimi in the Opera House, but Tom and I did one at Stanford University, and where was the other one? Well, that brain cell is gone, but I know we did two together. And recently have just come off a series of concerts, one in San Diego and one in Dallas, and they've been phenomenally successful for us. The people, whatever the chemistry is that we seem to have together on stage, people seem to respond to it. I will say that there are very few people with whom I'd rather perform than Tom. Because we're such good friends, there is an element of profound admiration, love, and trust, which we have for each other when we're on stage. And I think both of us feel liberated and safe together. So that when we get on stage, something happens which is greater than the sum of the parts. This is a collaboration I think that's going to be lifelong, career-long. So we look forward to doing lots and lots of things together.
Great. Well, we certainly enjoyed the series of concerts that you did here last year. It was funny, when you did the concert with Samuel Raimi as well, I was racking my brain to think, now, what could they possibly sing that would involve a tenor, a baritone, and a bass from opera? And I couldn't think of anything, but you did come up with a section from Faust.
There isn't really anything other than that trio from Faust. We were really racked to find things. The Kismet thing that we did was an arrangement that I put together originally just for Tom and me, but we figured out a way to work it for the three of us. And then There's Nothing Like a Dame seemed like a logical, fun thing for the three of us to do. But the options for tenor baritone or for baritone bass are much greater than they are for bass tenor or for tenor baritone bass. So you are somewhat limited there unless you want to do, well, I don't know what.
I was impressed that you actually found something that would work for the three of you.
Well, we tried. We tried.